Hi, and welcome to Hot at Home, Your Questions Answered. I'm Jackie, and today's question is from Boone. Boone says, Jackie, I am currently on a great diet, cardio, and weight training program that uses the carb cycling and calorie zigzagging techniques. I've done all the necessary calculations to ensure that I am consuming 20% below my total daily energy expenditure. I have not cheated once, nor have I missed a single cardio or weight training session. The problem is I am not losing 1 pound per week according to the scale. Should I weigh in and adjust my calories/training every 2 weeks instead? It seems like my body weight regularly fluctuates within a range of 3 to 5 pounds, so it's possible I am losing weight, but not enough to accurately detect it once a week. Should I scrap using the scale and buy a pair of skin-fold calipers instead? I wouldn't scrap the scale. No, I really wouldn't. If you're still trying to lose a significant amount of fat, the scale is an extremely valuable tool. If your weight is fluctuating that much between weigh-ins, it makes me wonder if you're weighing in at the same time and under the same conditions every day or every time you weigh. If you're weighing at different times of the day, because a person's body weight can fluctuate between 3 and 5 pounds within a day, just based on the food they eat, or if they're retaining water from eating too much salty food, or the workout that they just had, they might be feeling the pump, you know, that kind of thing. So the best time of day to weigh yourself is first thing in the morning after you wake up, after you use the washroom, and before you eat, and before you shower or do anything, and naked, no clothing at all. That is going to be the most accurate day to day differences reading that you can get. If you weigh one day under those conditions in the morning, and the next day, at the gym, say after your workout, wearing fitness gear, then yeah, you could be a full 5 pounds different. If you've eaten and all that stuff, and you've worked out, and you're wearing clothes. So always weigh in under the exact same conditions on the exact same time of day, and upon waking, like I just said, is the best time. So start doing that first before panicking. But again, I mean, if you're from week to week, you don't seem to be losing. You said what? You haven't said what you're losing, or if anything. You said the problem is I'm not losing 1 pound per week according to the scale. Not losing 1 pound per week. Well, what are you losing? Anything? So let's see. What have I got here? I would weigh in daily. I don't know how often you weigh in, but I would weigh in daily. And I would take my cues from that number and remember back to what you did yesterday. If the number went up, okay, well maybe my calories were too high, so I better adjust my calories. I mean, are you weighing and measuring your food? Do you absolutely know without a doubt that your calories are where they should be? Are you eyeballing your food, or do you actually have a weigh and measure system, and you write it down and keep track during the day so that you know where you landed at the end of the day before you go to bed? If you're not doing that, then I would recommend doing that, because if you're only guessing, then you're only guessing. You might think you're bang on, but you might be off by 750 calories a day. You never know. People do have a tendency to guess their calories a lot lower than the reality. So if I recommend getting more and more scientific. If you're not seeing the results, then somewhere there's a mistake in there somewhere. So if it's not the difference between the time of day that you're weighing yourself, then it might be with the foods you're consuming. I also wonder how muscular you are, because if you're actually pretty lean and you don't have a lot of fat on your body, but you've got a lot of muscle, or you've been training for a while and your body puts on muscle quickly, then it's possible that you are taking some fat off, but you're also putting muscle on, which compensates for the weight loss. So fat calipers in that situation, if that's what's going on, then yeah, fat calipers could help you. Taking your measurements also with just a cloth tape measure can also really help you just to sort of know what's happening. Are you getting bigger? Are you getting smaller? What's happening? So if you're really really lean already, then maybe you're working out with weights and you're putting on muscle. Chances are slim that if you have a lot of fat to lose, that you're putting on muscle at a rate that is faster than the rate at which you can take fat off. Fat comes off faster than muscle goes on in the majority of cases, unless illegal pharmaceuticals are involved. So yeah, so getting fat calipers, that can help you know if you're putting on muscle where they're used to, and not taking off that much fat, or taking off a little bit of fat but compensating for the actual weight loss by adding on muscle weight. So that can help you. You could also readdress your macros in your diet. If you're eating too many carbs, maybe you need to get more fat and more protein and not eat so many carbs. I don't know where you're getting your carbs from. Hopefully it's, you said you're following a really great program, so hopefully you're eating whole, natural, healthy foods and getting your carbs from vegetables and fruit and that kind of thing. So, but if you're getting your carbs from like even whole grain pasta or whole grain bread or whatever, then you could be maybe eating too many carbs and storing that as fat and not being able to work it off. The other thing I wanted to mention too is that if you're doing calorie zigzagging and carb cycling and stuff like that, you could wind up consuming more calories than you think you're consuming on your up days when you said you're zigzagging. So on your up days, you might be eating too many calories and you're not eating small enough the next day to compensate. So instead of your calorie zigzagging, but you might just be over time, over a span of a week, you could just be doing this to yourself, and you're doing all this stuff to try and get your calories low, but you're not getting your calories low, you're just keeping your calories stable by going up and down, up and down, up and down. Same with carbs. So one thing I would like to recommend is stop all that and just eat below maintenance every day. Make sure you're a couple of 200 to 500 calories below maintenance every day. Keep it stable below maintenance instead of at maintenance, which is what you might be doing, and see how that works for you. Because I have a sneaky suspicion that's probably what's going on. So weigh and measure your food and keep track of the calories. Look it up on the internet. Make sure you know your calories, how many calories you're ingesting. Make sure you know how many calories you need to hit maintenance, and then eat below that. And eat below that on a consistent basis. I have a feeling you're going to see a bit of a change. And as well as your question about do you need to adjust your training every 2 weeks, it kind of depends on your training age. If you've been training for 20 years and your body adjusts quickly to what you're doing and has a lot of knowledge about weight training, then maybe you need to change that often. Maybe you need to change it every week. But if your training age is 5 years or less, probably somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks is going to be fine for you. You don't need to change it that often, but you do need to make sure you're pouring intensity into your workout. So if you're just going in to your workout space or your gym or whatever you're doing and just sort of going through the motions of whatever the program asks for, but you're not really finding yourself sweaty at the end of it, or feeling like you poured some real intensity into it, maybe feeling a little shaky even at the end, a little bit like rubber. Maybe you're not lifting heavy enough, maybe you're not doing enough full body moves that get your heart rate up a lot. I mean, if you're trying to lose fat, then cardio is important. So even if you get your cardio by doing circuit training with your weight training, at least make sure you're getting an intense cardio session where your heart rate's jacking up, okay? If that's not happening, then you're not doing a lot to burn fat, but you might be building a lot of muscle, but if you're not going heavy, then you're not building very much muscle either. So your workouts could just be sort of killing time more than really getting you the results you're hoping for, right? So the other thing too is even if you change every 2 weeks, if you're doing something that your body's been doing for a long time, like if you're just doing straight sets, say, counting to 10 and times 3 sets and resting in between, and then you change it in 2 weeks to like counting to 8 times 4 sets with resting in between, and then 2 weeks later you change it to 5 sets counting to 6 but resting in between. Those are still all just straight sets, still all the same moves, that kind of thing. So that's not enough of a change probably if you've been at this for a while. If you want to change things, you should go from something like straight sets to super circuits. And, if you're doing isolation moves, then move to full body compound moves and make it quite different. And that will shock your body into sort of, oh, okay, what the heck's going on here? I don't know what's going on here. Better throw some calories at this and grow some muscle and protect myself because I don't know what he's doing. But if you're always doing this very similar things, your body's like, I know how to do this, and it doesn't really need to adjust because it knows what you're doing. So that's another suggestion for you. So that's all the suggestions I've got. So hopefully try those things out, and hopefully that you'll start to see some changes really, really quickly. And so I hope that helped you out, and we'll see you guys again soon. Take care.